Thank you for supporting Notes to the Sun. Please be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Notes to the Sun is only intended for a mature audience and contains strong language which may be considered offensive by some viewers.
Last week, my eldest son asked me if I was going to have any episodes where I express my religious and political views. He asked me this question because he knows that I have some very strong religious and political ideas and wanted to know whether or not I would be utilizing Notes to the Sun as a platform to express some of those ideas and views. To which I responded, absolutely fucking not. There is not a shot in hell that I am going to be using this podcast or this platform to express my personal beliefs and ideas, particularly those related to politics and religion. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, well, he's probably not going to do it because he wants to keep things as vanilla as possible. He wants to reach out to a wide audience and not be divisive. If that's what you're thinking, then you'd be absolutely wrong. It's actually quite the opposite. I'm 54 years old now, and I spent the greater part of my life honing my religious and political views, poring over hundreds of books, speaking to thousands of individuals, traveling to different places of the world, going and visiting lecture halls and attending conferences and going through initiations and finding myself in mosques and villages and temples, all to develop the ideas that I have right now. And if you believe that I'm going to reduce all of those life experiences into 280 characters so that my political and religious beliefs can be more digestible for public consumption, then you've got another thing coming, because that is not me, and that's not what I'm going to do. And the main reason why is because not only would it be disrespectful to those ideas and those beliefs, but it would also be dismissive and disrespectful to myself. And so that's something that I won't be doing. So let me tell you what it is that we will be doing. What we will be doing in Notes of the Sun is we're going to be teaching. Now, I need you to understand what that actually means, okay? Teaching does not mean that we will be changing anyone's mind. Matter of fact, I firmly believe, that in the history of everdom, no human being has ever changed the mind of another human being. Not ever. Not a single person has ever changed the mind of another human being. Now, what we have done is we have taught, and we continue to teach, and we continue to teach, regardless of what ears hear. And those minds that are fertile enough to receive that teaching, those are the minds that will receive it, and those are the minds that will grow. That's what ultimately happens in a process of education, is that one gives the information and the fertile mind receives it. We are not changing anyone's mind. Those minds have already been changed by that individual's own life experiences and their own belief system. Those minds have already been changed by those individuals. And it is because their minds were changed by themselves that their minds are now fertile enough to receive the teachings that I will be providing during this podcast. So I'm not changing anyone's mind here. No one, no teacher, no matter how small, whether you're in a small classroom or whether you're teaching the world, whether you are a prophet or whether you're not just a public school teacher struggling right now, it does not matter. You are not going to change minds. But you must have the endurance. You must have the courage. You must have the commitment to keep teaching every single day, to keep giving every single day. And it might be one person today that receives it, or it might be no one that receives it, but you have something in you that says, keep on going, because eventually a fertile mind will cross your path and they will receive the information that you are giving. And so that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be teaching. And the reason why you are here is because your mind has already been made fertile. We are already friends. You are already following me. You've already come across this information because somehow, some way, the algorithms have said that there might be some commonalities there. You are here because you already have some leanings to what it is that I am offering. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to just keep on teaching. And if your mind is fertile enough to receive this message, so be it. If not, so be it. It doesn't matter if one person likes anything I have to say or no one likes what I have to say. I'm going to keep on giving this message because I believe that the message itself is important enough that I remain committed to doing it. I believe the message is important enough that I be courageous enough to say it. And I think the message is important enough that I continue to do it every single day. I believe that this message is important enough. That's what we're doing here in Notes to the Sun. I used to have a saying in my own classroom when I used to teach. And for those individuals whose minds were not ready to receive the information that I was giving, I used to tell them, do me a favor, go into the back of the class and fail quietly. That's all I ask you to do. Fail quietly. It's okay. It's okay if right now your mind is not ready to receive what it is that I'm giving. Your mind may not get it for another year, another 10 years. You might not have an aha moment with any of this information, 30 years from now. There are concepts and ideas that were given to me when I was in college. And now that I'm 50 years old, I go, oh, that's what that professor was talking about. So it would have been a mistake for the professor to stop his lesson because I didn't get it. But he continued the lesson. And despite the fact that I didn't get it, he continued. And then 25 years from now, thank you, Dr. Dwayne Jackson. Thank you, Dr. Leroy Davis. Thank you, Dr. Braithwaite. Thank you, Dr. Aaron Parker. There's concepts and ideas that these Black men at the campus of Morehouse College, they were sharing with me, and my mind just wasn't fertile at the time to receive it. But then now that I am older, bam, now I get it. Now it makes sense. And that's why teachers need to continue to teach regardless of who's listening and regardless of who agrees. Have you ever been in a classroom where you raised your hand and you told the teacher, I don't agree with what it is you're saying? I don't know if you've ever done that, but if you have, I can guarantee you one damn thing, that teacher still showed up the next day and he continued to keep on teaching because he didn't give a shit about whether or not you agreed with him or not. She didn't care whether or not you agreed with it. Mrs. Ivory at John Muir High School kept on teaching every single day. She kept on loving me every single day, loving me with information, loving me with patience. And no matter how many times I ditched, she didn't care. No matter how many times I was disruptive, she didn't care. She kept on giving me that message of love. And then eventually I got it. Teachers need to keep on teaching. So what does that mean? That means there's not a damn thing that you can say to me that's going to stop me. Not a single thing. Comments, dislikes, that's not what I'm here for. What you will never catch me doing is utilizing this platform to debate or engage in some type of public discourse with another individual who disagrees with me. I'm just going to offer the same advice I offer to those students. Do me a favor. go to the back of the goddamn class on Instagram or Facebook and fail quietly. Whether you show up to this class or not, I'm going to keep on teaching. Whether the message comes through or not, I'm going to keep on teaching. So I'm not going to deal with religious and political ideas, not because I'm scared to touch on that subject matter. I won't do it because it's disrespectful to my own beliefs. I'm not going to capture the totality of those beliefs anyway within a 3-minute reel, within a 280 character post, or within an hour-long podcast. That would be disrespectful to me, and it would be disrespectful to you if I did it. But what I'm going to be doing is providing you with timeless information that will stand the test of time, information that doesn't deal with who said the N-word today, or what white person doesn't like black people, or what black person is betraying this black person, and who's in blackface. And we ain't dealing with none of that. Now, while that stuff may be fine and dandy for other individuals on these social media platforms, look, I get it. There's some soldiers right now that are stomping the ground. They're like, hey, it is important that I get my religious and political views out. It is important that people receive this because I'm going to change some minds. More power to you. To all those sisters and brothers that are out there fighting the good fight, no problems. It's just not my fight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to give information that's timeless, that's going to stand the test of time 10 years from now, 100 years from now, God willing, 1,000 years from now. Young black men still going to need someone to give them a roadmap for spiritual development, for mental development, a roadmap for taking care of themselves. So guess what? The mathematics of God that we will be dealing with, true definitions of love that we'll be dealing with, family, friendship, finances that we will be dealing with. All of those things that we're going to be dealing with here on Notes to the Sun will be relevant. And yes, even learning how to piss straight, all of this is relevant, and it will be relevant 100 years from now. It is extremely important. It will stand the test of time because guess what? Empires fall, y'all. They all do. And emperors die. They all do. So while you are devoting your entire life's journey to criticize an empire and an emperor, you may be denying yourself the opportunity to learn something that is truly meaningful, something that is going to elevate you, something that is going to take you to that next step in your spiritual journey. And I'm hoping that Notes to the Sun might be able to provide that for you. So no, we aren't going to be dealing with religion. We're not going to be dealing with things that I know deep down in my heart, like the Persian fable says, this too shall pass. There's a lot that we are occupying our minds with, but this too shall pass. We need to start focusing on the things that are not trying to distract us from what the real issues are. So no, we're not going to be talking about every single time that Elon Musk says, get mad at this. Nick Cannon said this, now get mad. Amber Rose said this, now get mad. Donald Trump said this, now get mad. Every single day they're telling us who to get mad at, and we are wasting our precious time reading about that shit and following that shit. Of all the posts that we read on a daily basis, we could read a book a week. You could actually read a book a week. But what a book will do is educate you. What the post will do is distract you. So what I'm hoping to do is that every post that we provide is educational. It is something to actually help you move from where you are to a greater state of spiritual and mental consciousness. And so we are going to get political, but we ain't going to be talking about politics. And we will be talking about God, but what we won't be doing is talking about religion. It's not going to happen. So I appreciate you all being here and just wanted to kind of lay the groundwork for what it is that you can expect moving forward from this podcast. But also, I'm asking you to calibrate me as well. What does that mean? You heard what I said. You heard all this rant this entire time. So the moment you see me start to steer a little off path and delving into the murk and the mire of public discourse and debate, just pull me out of the mud and say, KGB, remember what you said? Stay true. Stay true. What you said in this episode is supposed to be that lighthouse that keeps you from crashing into the rocks that are nearby. That's what this episode is supposed to do. Be that lighthouse for me so that whenever the tides are moving me towards getting caught up in the bullshit, that lighthouse says, you're getting a little too close to the rocks, brother. Back off. And I'm advising each and every one of you, just move away from the rocks. Let the light guide you away. Stop being distracted by all the waves that are pushing you towards the rocks. Because I promise you, there's nothing but tragedy on those jagged rocks that you might crash into. Nothing but tragedy for us as a people, for anybody for that matter. Anyone of any different ethnicity, culture, or race. Don't let the waves crash into the rocks. All right? Step back, read a book, meditate, pray. Do all of those things that are actually going to matter years from now. I'm your host, KGB. Thank you so much for being patient with me during this rant. I love you all. Keep up the support. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and let's keep this journey going. All right, take care.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Notes to the Sun. Our show is a production of Sunshine Media, LLC, with all rights reserved. The podcast and its contents are protected under U.S. and international copyright law.